Yan, no? So discuss lang natin yung basis of business tax per type of activity. So, of course, we have a goods, no? Meron tayong sellers na nagbebenta ng goods, and of course, meron din nagbebenta ng services. So, siguro pangatlong beses ko na to or pang-apat ko na ata nasabi, ang basis ng business tax kapag nagbenta ka ng goods is nasa selling price, no? But kapag services, of course, ang basis niyan is nasa receipts, no? Okay. Sige, gross selling price. So, sinasabi lang dyan. So, this one is applicable for goods only, no? Gross selling price refers to the total amount of money equivalent which the purchaser is obligated to pay to the seller in consideration of the sale, barter, or exchange properties. Sales tax, if any, on such goods or price shall form part of the gross selling price. Okay, it includes sales made in cash, credit, installment basis, and is analogous to the income taxation concept of gross sales, except only on the treatment of contingent discount. So, basic na naman dyan, di ba? So, even you're in accounting, lower accounting subject, so dinidiscuss naman na rin yan. So, common lang naman yan, no? Gross selling price. Sige. Allowable deductions from gross selling price. So, sinasabi lang, these are, yung dalawa, yung number 1 and number 2, these are the allowable na pwede natin i-deduct doon sa gross selling price. The number 1 is yung mga discounts, no? If the discounts is ma-identify natin from the time of sale, so pwede natin siya i-deduct. However, if the discount is very dependent on future event, no, ibig sabihin hindi pa natin identify kung magkano ba yung discount at the time of sale. That's the time na hindi natin pwede i-deduct, no? So, later, no, i-discuss natin yung iba't ibang uri. Dalawa lang naman yung uri ng discount, no? So, una, sige, discuss na nga natin in quick, yung cash discount. Cash discount, so, this one, no? Ang cash discounts ito kasi is binibigay sa mga customers kung saan maagang nagbabayad, no? So in this case, cash discounts 2% over 30 net 60 days. So that is what we call credit term, no? So sinasabi lang diyan kapag si buyer daw is nagbayad 30 days, within 30 days from the moment nangyari yung sale, magkakaroon siya ng 2% discount. Okay? So, kung mapapansin nyo, the moment na nagbenta tayo ng items, ng goods, hindi pa natin alam kung si buyer ba is magbabayad within 30 days or not. Therefore, kapag cash discounts yan, hindi natin yan dinideduct sa gross selling price. Okay? Since hindi pa naman natin identify kung magkano ba, kung mag-a-avail ba si buyer ng cash discounts or not. If that's the case, all cash discounts are not deductible sa ating gross selling price. Okay? However, if we're talking about trade discounts kasi is applicable yan doon sa number of goods na binili. And of course, kapag magkakaroon ka ng sale, identify mo kung magkano talaga yung bibilhin, di ba, ni buyer, no? So, ito yung mga seller na nagbebenta na from 1 to 10, from 1 to 10, no discount. Kapag 11 to 20, you have 5% discount. Kapag 21 to 30, meron kang 10% discount. No? The moment na nagbenta ka, no, for example, nagbenta ka ng 25 sa isang buyer, ay 25 pieces, 'di ba? Identify mo na kung ilan yung applicable discounts niyan. If that's the case, trade discount is pwede natin i-deduct sa gross selling price. Okay? Okay. Sige. So, yun lang naman. So, basahin nyo na lang yung illustration number 1 and illustration number 2. So, understandable naman yan. No? Ay, hindi. Sige, sagutan na natin. Illustration number 1. Business taxpayer had the following transactions during the quarter. Cash sales, 400, 600, 120, 10, 672. Of course, ang mga subject dyan sa pag-compute ng ating business tax is yung cash sales, sales on credit, yung 600 and 100. So, total niyan 1.1. Then, returns and allowances. So, ayan yung number 2 na allowable natin pwedeng i-deduct. So, any items daw na binilike natin kay seller, no, is pwede natin i-deduct sa gross selling price. So, hoping na alam nyo yung difference between the sales returns and sales allowances, no? Kasi hindi na natin siya di-discuss on this subject. So, hoping na na-discuss yan during your lower accounting subject, no? The difference between the sales returns and allowances. So, either of the case naman is pwede natin i-deduct doon sa gross selling price. Okay? So, on this problem sa illustration number 1, so meron kasing pagsauli na naganap which amounted to 20,000. Therefore, pwede natin siya i-deduct. Yung quota discounts, of course, this type of discount is also dependent on the future events kung aabot ka ba sa quota or hindi. Therefore, hindi mo pa siya alam, hindi mo pa determine kung magkano ba yung discount at the time of sale. Therefore, hindi natin siya dinideduct. Okay? Okay. Since our basis naman for this business tax is on gross selling price. Therefore, any acquisition, no, kasi this one is sales lang. Dito kasi buyer tayo, no. Therefore, hindi natin isasama din yung 672,000. Okay? So, we're only focusing lang doon sa sales natin para ma-identify natin kung magkano yung business tax applicable. Okay? Illustration number 2, HTC Corporation sold various specialized equipment to a buyer with the following terms. List price 2 million, freight 50, installation 20. Okay. Trade discount 10%, cash discount 36%. So, sama mo lang yung 2 million, 50, at saka 20. Then, i-deduct mo lang yung 10% dito sa list price. So, 2 million times 10%, of course, that is 200,000. So, 1.8 na yon. Add mo yung 50 and 20. Therefore, gross selling price. So, tulad na sinabi natin kanina, yung cash discounts is not allowed to be deducted in our gross selling price. Okay? So, basic na basic. Gross receipts. Ito na yung sale of services. No? Ang basis kasi natin yun, di ba, gross receipts. Sinasabi lang dyan, amounts of money or its equivalent representing the contract price, compensation, rental royalty, including amount charged for material supplies with the services and deposit applied as payment, actually or constructively received during the taxable period. Okay, so pwedeng actually na na-receive, ibig sabihin, yung usual, no, nagbayad si customer kay seller, or pwede rin constructively receipt. So, discuss natin yung constructively receipt, no. Illustration number 1, a laundry business. Of course, laundry business is service type of business. Had the following transactions during the month, no? Cash collection for services done. So, actual receipt yan. Cash collection for services not yet started, no? So kung mapapansin nyo, kahit hindi pa nasisimulan yung services rendering, as long as nagkaroon na ng collections, subject na sa business tax, no? So, receivables on services rendered. So, dito naman, baliktad, kahit na-perform na yung services, since hindi pa nagbabayad si customer, therefore, hindi ito subject sa business tax. No? Kasi ang basis nga natin kapag services is receipts. No? So, lahat ng collections, whether na-perform na yung services or not, they are subject already sa business tax. No? Purchase of goods and services including 48,000 what pass on by the seller. So since we're talking about the sales, we're on talking about the related lang doon sa transactions wherein tayo yung sellers, no? So ayun lang yung titingnan natin. On this case kasi sa 440,448, we are buyer, no? So therefore, hindi natin to isasama. So dalawa lang, 400, 100, 500,000. Yung 600, hindi pa nakokolekta kahit na-perform na yung services. Therefore, hindi siya kasama sa business tax. Illustration 2, Estotech Inc. provides PC board repair services during the month. It billed a total of 4 million, out of which client settled 3.2. Estotech also collected 8,000 interest on its bank deposits and 14,000 dividend income from its stock investment. No? So, mapapansin nyo, ang primary purpose ng STTech Incorporated, of course, is related sa repair services. Ang total amount na nakapagbigay siya ng servisyo is 4 million, pero ang nabayaran lang muna ng customer is 3.2. Therefore, only 3.2 is subject sa business tax kasi we're talking about receipts. However, for 8,000 and 14,000, these are not no primary operations of the company. Therefore, they are not subject sa business tax. Okay, okay. Constructive receipt. So, usual naman, no, diniscuss natin is actual receipt. So, paano naman pag constructive? It occurs when the money consideration or its equivalent is placed at the control of the person who renders the services. Okay, without restriction by the payer. This is added as part of gross receipts. So, example lang doon yun, deposit in a bank account of the seller made by the buyer in consideration of services rendered or goods sold. So, the moment na napag-bank transfer na si buyer papunta kay seller, kahit hindi inform, no, si seller, as long as napag-bank transfer ka na, of course, sinasama yun sa receipt natin. Okay? Therefore, subject siya sa business tax. Number 2, issuance by the debtor of a notice to offset any debt or obligation and acceptance thereof of the seller as payment for the services rendered. So, ibig sabihin, hindi laging cash daw para sabihin natin na nagbayad na si customer. So, for example, nagkaroon ng offsetting, si seller may utang pala kay buyer and si buyer gusto i-apply na lang yung utang ni seller para mabayaran yung binili ni buyer kay seller. Therefore, yung settlement ng liabilities ni seller, no, kay buyer para mabayaran ni buyer yung goods na binili niya kay seller is considered as constructive receipt. Therefore, yung offsetting na yun, no, ina-add doon sa total collections or total receipts ni seller. So, offsetting is part of a constructive receipt. Number 3, transfer of the amounts retained by the payer to the account of the contractor. Transfer of the amounts retained by the payer to the account of the contractor. Transfer of the amounts retained by the payer Okay, so not sure ako with number 3 but meron kasi kapag related siya sa construction, no? Meron kasi tinatawag na retainer's fee na parang wini-withhold ni buyer, no, papunta doon sa developer. So usually itong retainer's fee is binabalik yan at the end of the project. No? So, ngayon ko lang din nalaman na it is part of a constructive receipt. So, therefore, kahit yung pera daw is nasa kamay ni buyer, no, no nagbabayad, it is already considered as part of constructive receipt. Sige, baka meron itong illustration. Illustration, Miss Leia Amado is a Pozo Negro contractor. She had the following fees for the month. 10,000 from Cypher Company, net of 30,000 debt of Miss Leia from Cypher Company. Okay. 15,000 deposited to Miss Leia's bank account. 20,000 cash share for a general proprietor, 30 in distributed share was credited to her capital account. No, magkano daw yung okay. Yung gross receipts. Okay. So, hindi rin binanggit yung number 3, transfer of the amounts rating, no? Sige. Etong number 1, yung 10,000 from cyber company, ito yung number 2 sample sa taas, no? Yung nagkaroon ng offsetting doon sa utang ni seller to buyer, kaya nung nagbayad na si buyer is in-offset niya na yung pagkakautang ni seller, no? So of course si 30,000 yung in-offset, then ang natitira na lang na babayaran is 10,000, therefore 40,000 yung total, no, na na-receipt talaga ni seller. And also yung 15,000 papasok siya sa sample number 1, no? So 15,000. So yung number 3 hindi siya binigyan ng example, no? So sayang naman. Pero sige, go lang yan. Agency monies, amount earned mark for payment to an unrelated third party or receive as reimbursement for advance payment on behalf of another which do not redound to the benefit of the payer are not part of gross receipts. So, hindi daw siya part ng gross receipts. So, kapag daw yung nagbayad is uh, third party doon sa transaction. Therefore, no, therefore, hindi siya kasama sa gross receipts. So, ang sample niyan is, wait lang, letter A, si letter A, ay wait lang, bakit yan? Ito, letter A, ay, wala, letter A, yan. Si letter A, si letter B is nagkaroon ng transaction. Bumili si buyer kay A, no? Tapos si letter C, since may utang, 'di ba? Usually for example, ang credit, ibig sabihin utang, no, bumili si B kay A pero utang yung pagkakabili. Then etong si letter C, nagbayad siya kay letter A, no? Ibig sabihin, binayaran ni letter C yung utang ni letter B. Since ang nakinabang naman ng transaction is si letter B, hindi si letter C. So, yung nakolekta ni letter A kay letter C is not part ng gross receipts. So, ang tawag pala dun is agency monies. Okay. So, usually sa ano to? Sa, dinidiscuss to sa obligation and contracts and also sa negotiable instruments, no? So, wala lang, ang galing lang. Applicable din pala yun dito sa business tax. Okay. Insurance proceeds on damaged assets. The receipt of insurance proceeds from destruction of a company business asset is not viewed as sales or receipt for the purpose of business. The compulsory and inventory conversion of property into money, such as in the case of insurance, is not viewed as sale in the ordinary course of business. So, sinasabi lang daw na yung mga natatanggap daw na either ng businesses or ng individual related doon sa insurance na inavail nila. No? So, marami kasi ng insurance. Pwede nating i-insure yung, of course, yung life natin. 'Di ba? 'Di ba tayo life insurance advisor. So, for promotion na tayo as manager pala, no? So, may way pa. Pwede rin nating kumuha tayo ng car insurance, 'di ba? House insurance, what else? Business, no? So any insurance process na na-receive natin because nasira yung car natin, nasunog yung house natin or yung business natin, no? Lahat daw na ma-receive natin from the insurance companies are not part of gross receipts. Okay? Kasi hindi nga naman talaga uh, sale or ordinary course of business. Therefore, they are not part of our uh, gross receipts, no? So kahit naka-receive pa tayo, wala lang, galing, no? Sige, buray ko lang muna. So, illustration, PC repair company received the following amounts during the month. So, collection from clients, of course, automatic naman yun. Receipts yan, di ba? Reimbursement for out-of-pocket costs incurred in servicing clients, of course, di ba? Reimbursement, ibig sabihin, ang gumastos muna si seller, no? Then, after some time, syempre sisingilin niya na si customer. So, part siya na ating receipt since part din siya nung parang sales na rin natin. Therefore, subject yan sa business tax, no? Reimbursement for client expenses paid by PC repair. So, sinasabi lang dyan, if the reimbursement is directly related doon sa operation natin, of course, part yan ng ng ating grocery receipts. But if it's not directly related, no, pag sinabi kasing ah so, kung mapapansin nyo, yung dalawa, reimbursement for out-of-pocket cost incurred in servicing the clients, this one is directly related. However, yung reimbursement for client expenses paid by PC repair. So, yung client expenses, ang may expense talaga niyan si client. It was so happen na nag-abono muna si seller. Therefore, hindi yan part ng ating ah gross receipts. However, dun sa pangalawang item, reimbursement for out-of-pocket costs incurred in servicing clients, part kasi yan ng services ni PC Repair Company. And of course, ang nag-incur niyan talaga is si PC Repair, no? Na sinisingil niya kay buyer. Therefore, part yan ng ating gross receipts. Yung pangatlo kasi, ang may expense talaga niyan si client. Therefore, hindi natin pwedeng sabihin na part yan ng ating ordinary course of business. So, nag-abono lang for the meantime si PC Repair. But of course, ang mag-shoulder dapat talaga niyan si seller, no? Ay si ano pala si buyer. So therefore, our answer for illustration on this illustration is 450,000. Proceeds of fire insurance, maaaring nasunog yung kanyang company or part ng company. So nakaresolve siya ng 400,000. Therefore, hindi natin yan isasama sa ating gross receipts. Receipt of bank loan. So, nangutang pala si PC Repair sa bangko. Then, yung amount na na-receive niya kay bangko, of course, hindi yan ordinary course of business. Therefore, it is not part of our gross receipts. Receipt of agency money to be remitted to a sister company. So, hindi pala ikaw yung hindi pala sa iyo pera pero naka-receive ka ng pera na ibabayad mo naman din pala doon sa sister company mo. Therefore, yung 100,000 is not part of our business tax, no? So, ganun naman siya kadali. Withholding tax. Amounts withheld form part of gross receipts because they are in constructive possession and not subject to any reservation, the withholding agent being merely a conduit in the collection process. Illustration, a lessor received 10,500 rentals from a lessee net of 5% withholding tax. Okay. So, sinasabi lang dyan na kapag daw yung na-receive natin is net of withholding tax. So, kakumpitin daw natin yung gross receipts. Of course, as if na ang na-receive natin is yung kabuuan. So, isasama natin yung winidhold ni withholding agent. No? So, in this problem, ang total talaga na na-receive mo is 10,000. It was so happen na winidhold lang yung 5% ni withholding agent. Okay? So, ang subject sa business tax is 10,000. Okay? So, madali lang naman din yan. Di ba?